Fourth down, big moment. Play clock at 3. And touchdown, ETN barrels forward. And now does have the hat trick of rushing touchdowns. And Georgia with a tremendous 89-yard, 11-play drive. Your sec 84.
Yeah, baby. ATL Kool-Aid drank up here with the comments on the games today. Hey, we're gonna cover on a little bit of the Hawks, and we're gonna do some covering on the Falcons. Also, we're gonna do some covering on Georgia Tech and the Atlanta Falcons. So, baby, so what's what we got going on? The Georgia Bulldogs, since I'm almost like a week late and everything, we know the Georgia Bulldogs, they beat Texas, which gave them an opportunity to get back into that number one spot. But they also last week had to beat up on a team also. So what we had to do is that the Georgia Bulldogs had to keep winning after losing to Alabama. And so by they having to keep winning, I like the heart of the players, man. The players is winning, and the heart of the head coach is got everything going. I wish Bobo we could probably do a lot better. Bobo can get a little bit more on what they have to do, on what he have to do on making the play calling and stuff like that. But I'm glad that he did run the ball a little bit more and everything for us to win this game. And also, I'm glad that they also did what they had to do last week against Mississippi State and winning that game 41-31. So it would seem like it was starting off a little bit different, a little slow last week, but they came out against Texas and they really did a really good job. So now I think they're gonna have like a little week off and getting ready for Florida on November the 2nd. So and I think right now Georgia's starting to get they start off like a little train, start off a little slow. Now it seems like they picking up a little bit more momentum going now and going into the next few games. They really have some really big games coming up. They got like I said, they got Florida, then they got Ole Miss, then they got to play Tennessee, which Tennessee beat Alabama this weekend. So that's not going to be an easy game for them. And then they'll go into their last few games against UMass, and then the last game, which is around Thanksgiving and the weekend and going into those holidays, Georgia and Georgia Tech game, traditional game. So I'm looking forward to them. I'm seeing them getting ready for this 10-game playoff, and I think they should give them the number one spot. So you see, I got my hat on. So the team that deserve for me to wear the hat is Georgia right now. So that's why I got the Georgia hat on, because they deserve it. So I'm seeing them the college football ranking. So let's see where we got right here on the college football ranking here now. So they did do what I didn't want them to do, but that's okay. They did it in a way. So I'm looking at the college football ranking right now, and I'm seeing the top. So I'm gonna go with the top 10. So obviously the top 10 would be the ones that would be. I think that how it would work, right? I'm not sure, but maybe the top 10 would be the ones that is in the playoffs. That's the way I would look at it. They taking it. It's a 10 team playoff, right? So right now I'm looking at Oregon number 1, Georgia number 2, Penn State number 3, Ohio State number 4, which they got beat by Oregon. Texas, uh, Miami, Tennessee, LSU, Clemson, uh, and Iowa State. I thought Iowa State came back. I thought they almost lost that game. Iowa State came back and beat UCF. I thought that game was really really close. So, um, wow, that was interesting right there. So I'm gonna say Iowa State beat West Virginia last week, and Iowa State came back on UCF, which I thought it was. I thought they had lost that game, and they came back on that and ended up getting that spot. So wow. So guess this is very interesting to see that Alabama is not in the top 10, folks. Alabama is ranked number 15. Wow. Wow. So this is going to be interesting. But yeah, it's one of those things now I'm drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit. I see Georgia right here nipping on that another college football championship. So we want to say go Bulldogs. And another thing I want to say, I watched the Georgia Tech game. They did. The crazy part about Georgia Tech, they quarterback got hurt in the game before this when they played against Notre Dame. And in actuality, man, Notre Dame. I mean, Georgia Tech almost looked like the way the Falcons looked to me. It looked like they didn't come to play. Coaches didn't come to coach. You know, so that's what I seen in this case. I saw that Georgia Tech did not come to play. They had plenty of time from my point of view. They had plenty of time to beat up on this in the first, because in the first half they held Notre Dame to 7 points up until until that last part, and they really could have. And they really could have won this thing, man. If they would have, if the coaches would have just did a few things different, man, with their quarterback. I know they didn't have their quarterback, but if they could have did a few things different with him, I think they could have played a better football game. Either they could have won, but they really played a really good football game against UNC, which that's the game that the number one quarterback that got hurt in, and they won that game 41-34, and then they lose to Notre Dame 31-13. They messed around and let Notre Dame just start beating up on them and everything. So I say Georgia Tech got Georgia Tech. They just, I don't know. It always say it's gonna come down to getting that right coach for your organization, and that right coach getting the right coaching staff together for your organization to win a championship. Cause and then you get the right players to come and play right behind you on that. So, but that's it for Georgia Tech, man. So as for the Falcons today, let's talk about the Falcons. Uh, we was really high on the Falcons, high hopes and everything. They played through some of the toughest part. They play off, and then they played against Seattle, and they came out and they just didn't come to play. Uh, I think if they would have came to play, you cannot have all these penalties and turnovers and come to play. Kirk Cousin was actually overthrowing the ball a lot. He missed wide open receivers. Drake London dropped the ball, and he dropped the ball a couple of times. So I think that, I mean, he didn't drop the ball, but that one pass that went through his hand that he should have caught turned into an interception. So that shouldn't have been on Kirk Coltrane as for creating an interception and everything. So I hope that we could do better on that with Kirk with Kurt Cotrain in the next game, which we're going to be playing Tampa Bay. The Atlanta Falcons, uh, it's just like I said, as for we as a team, we have to get ready to play for play. We have to get ready to play against the referees. As for Atlanta teams, we should never go in and argue with the referees or whatever. We just got to try to play as clean a game as possible to make the bad calls that the referee gonna call. Obviously. So we can't just go out here and think it's just gonna be easy. So what we got to do is, as a team, we got to go out here. We got to go out here and think about what we're trying to do, and try to do better. So um, we messed up on all phases of the game. We were running out of the end zone when we shouldn't have been running out of the end zone. We should have just kneeled it and started our game at the 30-yard line. They kicked it in the end zone like 3 or 4 times, and we called ourselves going to run it out when we don't even have a kickoff return, man, that can run out like that. So I could see if you had a Deion Sanders or someone like that, or go back to the old school to a Billy White Shoe Johnson or something, uh, 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 or can't think of my other man name, but the one who just got into the Hall of Fame. If he was back there, man, one of the best kickoff return, man, they're not gonna understand running out of the end zone. So so I just think that on all phases are cool. He took. I knew he was gonna miss that field goal when he stayed straight instead of angling on that hash mark. I don't know why he get. It's like he kick a large percentage. His kicks are starting to be kicked off that left hash mark, and he should be making an adjustment on that. He got a strong leg. He just needs to just slide to the left, man, and kick that ball a little bit more toward the right instead of kicking it straight. So I don't know what his mentality on that. But today his mentality, he didn't go back to the adjustment that he had made that he had made for us to win the game. So so I'm just saying, like coaches got to do better. Some of the play that coach called on defense. I mean, you should have played with Terrell up on Metcalf the whole time and just took him completely out the game, which would have slowed up him getting out into the pass with Terrell bumping him and running with him, and it would have made it easy, made it hard for him to get out there. But you decide on that last play that you decided to back up into the and have Terrell play 10 yards off the guy and have him to run get up to full speed on the play that they got. That was a bad call. We had them 3rd and 20, man, 3rd and 20. So it wasn't necessary for us to do that. I mean, to put in the right defense or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, guys, the Atlanta Falcons got to do better. They got to come out and play better. They actually beat themselves today. Uh, Offense penalties, which some of those penalties was not because the referee did that. They did that to themselves. Uh, I couldn't understand, Coach. You got to put some of the personnel on the field. Why Roro is not playing Rook or Roro? Why he's not playing Rook? You know what I'm talking about. Why he's not playing? I don't understand why he's not getting no playing time. He was in the beginning of the game, and Carter wasn't playing. Carter was hurt, so it was no reason for Rook not to get more playing time. I don't understand that because you had the man made the first sack in the game. He must was putting pressure to get him to be nervous for the ball to get like that when he put that pressure on the man. So and then you didn't come back and playing. Uh, Come on, coach, you got to get Hodges, man. You got to get Hodges out on that football field. You got to put the talent on the field, man, to win the game. You can't win with talent sitting on the bench. You got to get Kirk Cousins need all the help he needed. He needed all the help he can get, man. You see what I'm saying? He need all the help. I mean, you could have went if you were gonna throw the ball, man. You could have went. You could have went. Uh, you could have put Hodges out on the field, man. Could have went put Hodges on the field. Uh, kept your boy at the tight end where he could still get that ball from the tight end, which that looked good from the beginning where he was getting those passes, those release passes to Pitts coming out of the tight end spot. But you could have had Hodges on the field, man. But you would have had Mooney, yeah, Drake London, and Hodges and my other boy. You could have had them on the field together. You see what I'm saying? So you could now I don't so just spread it out like that, man. Spread it out. Real Ray McLeod. If you would have did that, and you would have you if you gonna play Kirk Cousins, if you gonna play Kirk Cousins like that, then Roro, I mean not Roro, but Ray McLeod, Hodges, London, and Mooney, man, you would have been you would have gave Kirk Cousins a little bit more to work with. One of them guys gonna be a mismatch to somebody. So I don't understand why you not playing those guys. Okay? It's just pure sad, man, that we have coaches and stuff that don't see their talent that they have on the bench in the play. Don't y'all know if y'all play against the coach Kansas City, they know all their talent, man. I can tell, man. Even from the rookie running back to who's the next man up, they gonna win, and then they learn how to win different ways. So Falcons, straighten all that out so you won't end up with where you won't end up with all of that. You see what I'm saying? Getting all them penalties and stuff against when we get ready to go against our boy, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're gonna be coming back for revenge. They're gonna be smelling. Now they smell blood in the water. Now, especially if they win Monday, which they're gonna play the Ravens. I hope Ravens, cause we hope Ravens can put a whoop stick on them or beat them up a little bit. If they don't beat them, they don't put up. I hope it be a really brutal game for them. They beat them up. Okay. Now my next team, the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks gonna be playing the Nets, New Jersey Nets, Wednesday on the 23rd, 7:30, opening night. Hey, as a lot of people don't have confidence in the Atlanta Hawks. A lot of people don't. Some people don't even think that the Hawks has a chance to beat the Nets. But let me tell you something, man. That it comes down to this again. The coaching. The coach has a team full of young talent, and that's starting with Trae Young. Trae Young is still young. He only 20. I think he just turned 27. So he's still young. And so we still have a lot of young boys on this team. And they're very talented. We got JJ. He could dribble like a point guard. He runs like a deer. So we got him going on, right? And now and then we got Dyson Daniel, who came with a defensive mastery, who can defend the number one player of the opposite team on the floor and cut 5 to 10 points off of his average. And then we have our rookie, Zach Ricochet. And so I hope I'm saying it right, Ricochet. So therefore, Zach, JJ, Dyson, and Trey is the nucleus of this team. Now, what center that they put in there with them is just going to be icing on the cake. It's going to be very important. But the most important part about this, I hope coach don't come out here and start and have his starting five be Trey Young, Bogey Bogdanovich, Hunter, JJ, and Clint Capella. I hope that don't be his starting five. Dude, this man gonna show me that he is not trying to win and he's trying to mess up this whole team. Do what you did in 21. Let Bogey go back to being that guy that comes off the bench. Shift Hunter back being the elder guy that comes off the bench. And I would even go as far as shifting Clint Capella to come off the bench and start Larry Nance with the starting five. I think he earned that. I think he's going to be better. He's going to make a difference in how the team stretch and everything. So that's what I would like to see with Bogey. I mean with Larry Nance and with the starting five. So the starting five, if coach really want to try to win again, the starting five should be Trey Young, Dyson Daniel, Zach, JJ, and Larry Nance. That's the five that I think will give us the most. And then let Bogey come off the bench and put his 2 cents in, and let Hunter come off the bench and put his 2 cents in. And I really believe that we can get 25, 25, 25, and 10 to 14. What I mean about 25, I think we can get 25 out of Jalen Johnson, 25 out of Trey Young, 25 out of Zach, and 10 to 14 out of Dyson. And if anybody else sprinkles something else in, it's just gonna be a plus. But the win this year, it's gonna come down to how well Bogey, Hunter, and Clint Capella. I know they are some of the coach's favorite. They the one who got the big contracts. How well they gonna come off the bench and play, or even if one of them start, how well they gonna play. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come back to you. Hey, if y'all see this video, y'all want to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and if any of y'all going to the game, say go Hawks and everything. So I want y'all to make sure that y'all do that most important thing, so I can grow some with my channel, and maybe turn this into a podcast one day, and I have enough people in here for us to enjoy, and enough people who want to drink the Kool-Aid. So Georgia Tech lost. Georgia won. Bulldogs, Falcon lost. And I hope the Hawks get this. And I'm going to give a shout out to Atlanta United for winning and everything. And also a shout out to them Yankees getting to the World Series and everything. And we'll see how the Dodgers and the Mets are going to do tonight. So I just want to say, go Atlanta. Atlanta Falcons, Georgia Tech, Georgia, Atlanta Falcons, Atlanta Hawks. Go Atlanta. Have a good night. See you on the next time.